Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today I want you to literally just step out of the cold, rushing momentum of your daily life for a second. Let's pretend we're sitting down together in this incredibly warm, quiet mountain lodge. Go ahead and mentally pull up a comfortable chair. Imagine the crackle of the fire. Maybe pour yourself a cup of tea. Because today we aren't going to look at conflict as just some annoying problem to be solved or a disruption you have to manage. Actually, scratch that. It's not a disruption at all. We're going to explore conflict as this profound, almost beautiful opportunity for relational growth. It's a gentle truth, but a massive one. The very tension we usually try so hard to avoid, it's actually an open invitation to deepen our emotional intelligence.
So I want you to sit with this question for just a moment. What protective habits rush in when you feel misunderstood? Seriously, think about the last time tension suddenly spiked in a room. What did your body do before your mind even had a fraction of a second to catch up? Maybe you felt this sudden sharp tightening in your chest, or your focus got super narrow, or maybe your breath quickened just a little bit. Well, those are your automatic survival reflexes at work. They rush in to protect us when we feel exposed or dismissed or completely misunderstood. And honestly, just noticing these reflexes, without an ounce of shame, is literally the very first step in transforming how we handle these difficult moments.
Okay, let's dive into a really beautiful metaphor from our source material today. I want you to think of conflict as a fire. When it's fueled by unhealed wounds, unchecked reflexes, and pure defensiveness, it operates exactly like a destructive wildfire, right? It rapidly consumes all the oxygen in the room and leaves just absolute relational damage in its wake. But when that exact same fire is tended carefully with mindful presence, it completely transforms. It becomes a hearth fire. It provides warmth. It actually draws people together. It illuminates truths that were previously just hidden in the dark. So the fire itself isn't the enemy here. It's our relationship to it that changes the whole shebang. Now, notice the quiet intensity of connection here. Tension exposes what the material calls our invisible architecture. I love that phrasing. Conflict isn't just this relational event happening between two people across a boardroom table or in a kitchen. It's an internal, deeply emotional event happening inside of you. When you're challenged, the pressure tests your unseen inner structures. It reveals exactly where you're grounded and, well, where those old reactive narratives come rushing in to build a wall and protect you. And this brings us to a really powerful, fresh insight. Conflict is almost never just about the surface issue. Like, ever. We're actually navigating this incredibly layered emotional landscape. First off, you've got your present emotion. That's the immediate hurt or frustration caused by whatever was just said. But right beneath that, lurking in the background, is residual emotion. These are the unprocessed, older frustrations from past experiences that quietly, almost invisibly, color the current moment. And finally, there's anticipatory emotion. That's the deep-seated fear of future rejection or a loss of connection down the line. When we realize that a simple disagreement is actually carrying the heavy weight of the past, the present, and the future, well, we can begin to approach it with so much more grace. So the absolutely crucial point here is captured beautifully in this concept of urgency. This is our second fresh insight today. Listen, tension lies to us. It creates a completely false urgency. It tells your nervous system that you have to answer right now, defend yourself immediately, and resolve the whole thing this second. It's an illusion of speed, entirely pushed by your survival reflexes. But presence? Presence allows us to reclaim our timeline. When we consciously step back from that rushed, frantic pacing, we interrupt the automatic escalation that turns a perfectly manageable disagreement into that destructive wildfire we talked about. Look at the profound contrast we face in these moments. On one side, we have urgency and reflex, which, let's be honest, is exhausting, narrowing, and completely reactive. On the other side, we have the intentional pause. And that pause is spacious, it's grounded, and it is highly deliberate. But to truly understand this, we need to move out of theory and into practice. So I want to invite you to do something a little unique with me right now. We are going to take the next few minutes to practice what we call the stewardship of the pause. So wherever you're watching this, just let your shoulders drop for a second. I'm going to slow my pacing down a bit here, and I want you to just sit by the fireside with me. Imagine a conversation you've been totally dreading, or maybe a recent tension that left you feeling really strained. Before you even begin to formulate your defense, ask yourself, what are you carrying right now before you respond? Are you carrying fear? Are you carrying an old, familiar script that says you just won't be heard? Just notice it. Seriously, don't judge it. Don't try to fix it. Just hold it gently in your awareness. Step one of this practice is to discern through the breath. Take a really slow, deep breath in with me right now. And just exhale gently. Let's do that one more time together. Inhale deeply and let it all out. This isn't just about relaxing. It is a profound biological interruption. You're literally signaling to your own nervous system that this moment can be met with steadiness. In this simple breath, you're creating a tiny, crucial gap between the trigger and your response. You're asking yourself, hey, what emotions truly belong to this present situation? And what am I just dragging in from the past?
Moving to step 2, it's all about grounding the body. When tension rises, our gut instinct is internal departure. We literally check out of our physical bodies and retreat up into our racing, panicked minds. Let's counter that right now. Feel your feet resting flat on the floor. Soften your belly. Unclench your jaw. I know a lot of us are holding tension there. Feel the weight of your hands resting quietly in your lap. By consciously bringing your awareness back into your physical form, you prevent yourself from being hijacked by the false urgency of the conflict. You remain solid. You remain anchored.
And step 3 is the culmination of this intentional pause. Active, present listening. I want you to imagine looking right at the person you're in conflict with and making the active choice to listen without mentally preparing your rebuttal. Now, you aren't agreeing with them, and you certainly aren't surrendering your boundaries. You are simply honoring their emotional reality while remaining safely and firmly anchored in your own center. You're essentially saying, I am here, I am paying attention, I am willing to hear your reality before I insist on my own. Take one last deep breath to close out this practice. See? You've just reclaimed your timeline. As we emerge from that pause, we can begin to gracefully walk through what are called the 3 movements of mature resolution. First up is de-escalation. We absolutely must lower the emotional intensity by softening our tone and slowing our speech, because otherwise our survival reflexes just take over and run the show. Second is clarity. This means separating the actual factual issue from the thick emotional fog and all those assumptions we've layered on top of it. And third is repair, which is the movement that takes us beyond the conflict itself and into the actual restoration of the relationship.
And that brings us to our final fresh insight for today. Listen, true repair is not just quickly saying, I'm sorry, to make the awkward discomfort go away. It is, fundamentally, an architectural rebuild of trust, and that requires profound humility. It means moving way beyond just defending your intentions and honestly acknowledging your impact. Words might open the door, sure, but trust is rebuilt through consistent, changed conduct over time. It's a true commitment to carrying the tension with greater maturity the next time the fire sparks.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate goal of all of this. When we navigate conflict with real presence, we turn a confrontation into meaningful contact. People feel genuinely heard rather than just managed or handled. Relationships emerge far more honest and incredibly resilient. And for everyone involved, whether at home or at work, this models an incredibly safe culture. It shows that disagreement doesn't have to mean destruction or humiliation. Conflict actually becomes the very forge where deeper, lasting trust is built.
As our time by the fire comes to an end today, I want to leave you with a warm invitation and this unique mantra to carry with you into your week. May you meet the fire of conflict with the quiet of your presence. You don't have to fear the tension anymore. You have the tools, you have the architecture, and you have the inner steadiness to tend to it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and for actively choosing to cultivate presence in the fire. I'll leave you with this one thought. Where are you going to build your first hearth fire this week?